Welcome, my wonderful people. Thank you for joining us. CNN interview with Peter Obi. It is now Tinubu's turn. Peter Obi's 12 minutes interview on Friday last week has triggered quite an interesting debate on many social media platforms. His supporters think that Obi gave a good account of himself and stamped his authority as the nation's leading presidential candidate. Based on this, coming just 2 days after the NOI puts him as the front corner in the race, the interview was a part of a well-planned sequence of events and positive media exposure for him. Onto this, his trip across Nigeria and major cities in the country, US and Europe, the weeks before have also received positive reviews. According to the news, a day or so after Peter Obi's CNN appearance, a picture of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu dozing off at the palace of the Emir of Gombe as the Senate president was speaking turned up. The contrast between the two men couldn't have been a trigger, and the underlying message was unmistakable. Based on this, my fellow Nigerians have been unsparing. In their comment, somebody wrote, if this man is elected, his wife and children will definitely be running the government while he spends time in a foreign hospital. And this note, since he launches his bid earlier in the year, Obi has given several TV interviews and attended many events where he often speaks extempore. We now know that Obi and to some extent Atiku Abubakar are very comfortable before the cameras. Based on this, I understand that Atiku has since the last election brushed up himself with a series of courses in public speaking and grooming. A master's degree has also been added to his cupboard. On this note, in the years after he left the government house in Awka, Obi has attended a few executive programs in some business schools. He is a fairly eloquent, influent and well-spoken. Although he may not always appear well rehearsed, he does not forget his well-made sentence like his APC opponent. My wonderful people, I know you believe this. The truth has been that Tinubu's refusal to attend the NBA conference in August last time, preferring to send his poorly dressed running mate instead of triggered further warning about his disabilities. Nigerians have meanwhile been considerably alarmed by the shaking of his hands, weighting of his pants and wobbly gait and long good withdrawals in his speeches. Nevertheless, Tinubu's refusal to grant a live TV interview since his nomination as a presidential candidate 3 months ago is a clear pointer to his impairment. The man is just too physically and mentally unfit to lead this vast and complex country. I would like you to all recall that even candidate Buhari's symptoms wasn't this visible and obvious when we elected him in 2015, yet he crumbled barely a year in office and had to spend months in a London hospital. And that has been the scary part of it, as President Yar'Adua's ill health was well known to many even before he was elected in 2017. He proved it as much as he could, but the pressure of the office exacerbated his condition, and unfortunately he died after a lengthy hospitalization 3 years after the election. The weight of the office of the president is too numerous for a sick person or one who with a hidden health condition. He will definitely spend more time in hospital, and that has been the fear of Nigerians than in office. As a country, Nigeria is too sick to be led by a sick person. That has been the talk of the day right from day one. The country requires the full attention and the commitment and the dedication of the leader. Meanwhile, there are too many people who will take advantage of the absence of the president to do us harm. We saw it during Yar'Adua administration, of course. It was definitely, and it can happen again, and that has been that we are praying against this. Why then should we be stuck with a sickly old and when the country is filled with how the capable and competent men and women? Are we crushed? To avert attention from these those Tinubu supporters have been talking down on Peter Obi's media appearances. They claimed that he does not come well prepared enough, or that he deals on real out unvisible statistics. I agree, but Obi needs some coaching to handling the press. He has to hire experts to design his economic blueprint and distill out memorable talking point for him. Obi, as we all know, just as he has to do some away with those bulong statistics. Nigerians are too sophisticated to be fooled with constant reference to China. But in terms of articulation, erudition, and elocution and of the cuff remarks, Peter Obi is far ahead of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It is very crystal. If you do not believe me, send the two of them to a debate or get Tinubu to grant a live television interview. In fact, it is now Tinubu's turn to do a live TV interview, at least 10 minutes or more. After that, that is all. That is very all. And talking to the press is an integral part of the presidential job description. That has been onto this, my wonderful people, without wasting much of your time. The truth has been that Tinubu will be the last person to grant interview. Where will Tinubu start answering questions? His name, family, and his village, Iroboji. Okay, that has been onto this one. The truth has been that for how long, for how many times, countless times will you see NTA granting foreign counterpart foreign presidential aspirant interview? Why will our candidates be engaging with interview in CNN channel? Okay, that has been on to this one. You deserve your pay, but you can only confuse the gullibles. If Tinubu is a known quantity, is a known, okay, Nigeria know who they want come 2023. Asiwaju and Obi are not in the same category. It is very crystal. Atiku, who is Obi principal, cannot rival Tinubu. Only God can stop Asiwaju presidency, not Obi. Okay, that has been on to this one. Anyone is up to say whatever wants to say. The truth has been that God has already stopped it. They should go and take care of his health. Must he be president? Anybody supporting his presidential pursuit in the absence of his health is not doing him well. The truth is that God has no business in politics. It is only Nigerians without sentiment, who are not tribal, that will stop him. And if they don't, then we will all face the worst version of Buhari. Okay. Let me have your team, my wonderful people, without wasting much of your time. That has been where I will call it a day from here. Well, let me have your take. Please do well to tap on the subscription button so you'll be getting more updates coming right from this channel. Thanks and God bless.